One second, you're soaring above the clouds at 30,000 feet, looking forward to your next game. Then all of a sudden,
oh my God, it's on fire!
These are the NFL players that almost died. And for Myles Garrett, just a few hours after buying his dream car, an accident changed his life forever. See, Myles is no stranger to driving fast. Since he got drafted to the NFL just a few years ago, he's already been pulled over for speeding 6 times. Like the time he was driving 120 miles an hour on the freeway, then on the very next day, he was stopped again for doing 105. For Myles, even driving like that wasn't fast enough though. And that's why right after, he went out and bought his dream car, a Porsche 911 Turbo, that he was speeding everywhere. Until Myles ended up on the side of the road after he lost control of his car, and the thing flipped so many times that it was completely totaled. The car was basically unrecognizable, so the fact that Myles was the same him, except with a torn up shirt, was a miracle. Police and paramedics helped load him onto an ambulance, Myles' car was towed away, and he was rushed to the hospital. Now, even though he was only diagnosed with a strained shoulder, strained biceps, and cuts to his wrist and face, him and his teammates knew things could have been much worse.
I remember moving out the way of an animal coming from the right, then I remember opposing a car coming the opposite way, and then it was kind of quick flashes after that. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm glad everything worked out, a positive light, just blessed to live another day.
Man, to be honest, Myles was lucky, but someone who's even luckier is an NFL star who almost blew himself up. Just taking a look at these x-rays, obviously that hand's not normal. On the 4th of July, Jason Pierre-Paul got a little too lit, cause with fireworks in the sky, he wanted to join in on the fun. But sparking up was a big mistake.
So 4th of July, I lit up a firework, thought I could throw it away real quick, and in a split second, it blew off my whole hands.
After the explosion, Jason was forced to stay in the hospital for 2.5 weeks. Doctors put him under for 10 surgeries, and he came out a completely different person. The NFL literally had to invent a new glove just for him to keep playing football, because his hand was never the same. In the end though, obviously Jason embraced the fact that he was still alive. But not every near-death experience involved only one player. Like the time an entire NFL team almost died in a plane crash. Right after an away game against the Patriots, the Bengals were on a flight heading back home to Cincinnati. While they were in the air though, one of the plane's engines failed and the plane started going down. Everybody was in a panic because they were in a free fall needing to emergency land, so the pilots had to think fast. Now, eventually they were lucky enough to be able to emergency land at another airport just in time, and the players were seen waiting for another plane when the situation eventually broke the news.
I've been told that left engine failed after the team departed Providence earlier this evening, and the Bengals team plan was scheduled to return directly here to Cincinnati, but obviously that did not happen.
Of course, some fans made jokes and claimed Joe Burrow would have survived the crash anyways.
Yo, did we crash? Sorry, I don't feel turbulence.
But Burrow ain't even the most popular quarterback that was almost killed, because someone nearly took Patrick Mahomes hostage if he didn't give him everything he had.
So I'm just glad that me and my friends are safe and the cops got the suspects.
See, it's all because Mahomes' cars stood out, and they easily made him recognizable on the street.
Patrick Mahomes right there, people! We know what you're driving, Patrick!
But not everybody's a fan and so appreciative they run into a rich star athlete. Some are criminals. A few followed Mahomes all the way to his house without him even knowing. They pulled into his driveway, then the masked criminals ran up on him, pointed guns in his face, and demanded everything he had. Mahomes was staring down the barrel of a loaded gun, which was obviously the scariest situation he'd ever been through, so he gave him everything. After the criminals fled the scene though, Mahomes called the cops and police eventually tracked them down. Both guys were arrested, got their mugshots taken, and one was even sentenced to 12 years in prison. But getting attacked by some ugly guys like that is one thing. Another NFL legend almost died from a shark attack. To be honest though, usually it's a good time whenever Warren Sapp's out on the water. We're talking about a dude who almost goes fishing daily.
Right through the face.
And dude ain't afraid to get dangerous either. Like when he swam with dangerous fish or hunted wild animals in the swamp. But one day, Warren ventured off the coast of the Florida Keys for a fishing trip, where when he was in the water spearfishing for lobster, Warren got attacked by something deadly.
So the shark bites you. What happened?
Man, this sucker turned back and my shirt, he grabs my shirt and my wrist. So he locks on to the top of my shirt and I snatched down. And luckily my shirt had the top of his teeth because that part came loose and he swung his bottom jaw to bite me and it just knocked a nice little plug out.
How deep is the cut?
Yeah, he got me to the gristle. It's past the white meat. Yeah, I'll be fine. I wrapped it up, put the black tape on it and went back in. I had to go get the lobster.
And if you thought all of that was crazy, just a week after almost losing his entire arm and potentially his life, dude went back out to fish and was almost bitten by a shark again. Damn, man just needs to stay in the house or something. Or maybe not, because that's not only what almost got Earl Thomas killed, it lost him over $1 million. You see this dot right here? It's a little place in Texas named Orange, aka the exact location Earl bought a mansion to live in, and was also gonna be the color he almost died in. Because when a huge storm rolled through his city, tragedy struck.
Earl Thomas's home in South Texas went up in flames today. The fire now under control. Fire crews say it could have been sparked by lightning.
Earl's house was hit by a lightning strike, which started a massive fire that burned for hours. The house lit up so fast, they had to go into defense mode, which meant they weren't even able to rush in and save anything. All they were able to do was put the fire out from outside. Earl's entire house burning to the ground not only almost killed him, it became the most expensive fire in the city's history with damages of over $1 million. So all he could really do was sit there sadly and live stream the fire destroying everything he owned.
There's no house, just strictly bricks and grass. We took a big hit. We lost so many valuables, memories, pictures, stuff that you can't get back.
Man, Earl and his family were lucky to escape that. But one of the craziest ways an NFL player almost died was Brian Robinson's story that got his life turned into 50 Cent lyrics. Brian's story wasn't deadly right away though. All because of the football star he was in college, he had just gotten drafted by the Commanders and many expect him to be one of the NFL's next best running backs. Until just a few weeks before his NFL debut, when Brian was out shopping.
23-year-old running back Brian Robinson Jr. on the ground after being shot in the leg.
Brian was shot once in the thigh, once in the knee, and was immediately rushed to the hospital. Here's where doctors learned that if he ever wanted a chance at playing football again, before his pro career even started, he instantly needed an emergency surgery to repair his knee, so they got to work. The procedure was a success, and thankfully the bullets missed all of his major arteries and bones. Since it was a terrible injury though, many people still assumed it would completely ruin his rookie season, but Brian knew how blessed he was and was determined to prove everybody wrong.
We talk about gunshots. People die from gunshots. One shot anywhere, it can be in the most strangest place on your body and die from it. Take two, no way to think that I'm not blessed to make it out of that. Just to think about recent Washington, his Sean Taylor. Took one shot to his leg, but didn't make it. And just being another Washington player to get shot in the leg to survive. Can't help but to just think about how blessed I am to make it out of that. Went straight into my process and I was determined, focused every single day, getting better every single day.
His ambition to get right back on the field went from potentially missing an entire season or even his whole career to reports coming out saying that he'd be back on the field way quicker than anyone expected. Not long after, Brian was already starting to walk with crutches, which had the Commanders planning something iconic for his upcoming debut. They knew one of the most famous rappers of all time, 50 Cent, was one of his favorite artists and also survived multiple gunshots. So to hype Brian and the entire stadium up, they let him run out the tunnel to Many Men, one of 50 Cent's most famous songs. So yeah, once 50 heard about that, he just had to tweet a congratulations to him. And he also had to tweet out about the craziest catch he's ever seen in an NFL game. There's also catches players made with their cheeks. Some catches won players awards. Even SpongeBob had a little something to say about a crazy play.
On God, this catch was crazy.
Whoa, SpongeBob, how can you say that, bro? I know the catch was crazy and they should click this video, but damn. Anyways, click it.